Hey guys, ARL Rage here with a video on how to improve your mechanics in League of Legends and climb the dreaded ELO ladder. I've compiled 5 simple tips on how to improve your win rate. As Season 6 is quickly approaching and the leagues are already set in to give everyone a fresh start, these tips will help you to win your provisional games and get out of lower ELO. Number 1. Die less. This may sound simple or even stupid, but a lot of players run into plays suicidally without checking where the enemies are on the map, who is MIA, and if your allies have their ultimates. Taking one glance at the minimap could determine a winning teamfight or a crushing defeat resulting in an ace and an enemy baron. Make sure to think about both your position and the enemy's. Note who the stronger members of the enemy team are and target them with your CC abilities, locking them down before they can impact the fight. If your 3-2 Ziggs and a 7-1 Riven approaches you at half health, it's best to stay under tower and farm passively because she will easily kill you. Simple things like this will prevent the enemy carries from snowballing into the late game. Tip number 2. Ping more. A lot of teammates may yell at you in chat for pinging too much, but every time your laner leaves lane, you should send an MIA ping. That one ping warns the top laner and bottom laners that they could get easily ganked, and to be safe not to overextend. By sending that ping, your jungler can move in a position to counter gank and turn around the situation. That doesn't mean that you need to send 10 pings saying danger to your overextended Jinx, but maybe send 1 or 2 to make sure that you're getting the message across. A quick side note, sometimes your allies will ignore the pings and die. It's important not to rub this in and say I told you so. Instead, say make sure to check the map for MIA pings, okay? If you say it in a negative way, your teammates are less likely to listen and die even more. Pings save lives and win games. Tip number 3. Find your niche. When playing ranked, I cannot stress enough how risky it is to play a champion you've never played before. There are 2 recommended paths for playing ranked. The first path is to play only one lane and one champion, but you are insanely good with that one champion and can easily carry games. The second path is to learn to play multiple roles and have a few champions you can play in each lane. This is my preferred path, and I feel like it's also the safer route, especially at lower elo. The risks of the first include having your champion banned, the enemy picking a counter who you're obviously going to lose lane to, or your team taking your lane. There are a few exceptions though. If you are a high ranked smurf, only playing Riven in bronze and silver, that might not be a bad idea because you're pretty much going to annihilate all of your enemies as you have a lot more experience, and you're playing one of the most broken characters in the game. Choose a route that you think will best fit you. Are you amazing at one champion? If so, take the first path. If not, take the second. Tip number 4. Know when to take objectives. I have seen many a game blown because of a team's bad decision to take Baron when the enemy are all alive and are winning the game. When you plan to take a tower, make sure to have vision or at least a general idea of where any threats on the enemy team could be hiding. Especially when your team is losing or you have a teammate who's feeding one enemy laner, make sure to keep the pressure up in the lanes that are not losing. It's also important that if you are ahead to keep up the pressure so the enemy doesn't have time to farm back up. One major difference that distinguishes silver players and diamond players is that they don't know how to end the game when they have the chance. Taking an objective such as Baron or Dragon, it's important to use the sweeping lens and check the pit for enemy wards. Having a ward in Baron pit as you're trying to take Baron is possibly one of the stupid mistakes I see happen. This allows the enemy to plan their attack and trap you in the pit, taking damage from both Baron and the enemy. I recommend taking both Baron and Dragon, but Baron especially when the enemy jungler is dead or is on the far side of the map so he can't attempt to steal. One good trick that I like to use is when the enemy has taken the scuttle crab by either Baron or Dragon, is to get my team to stand in the pit and walk in and out every few seconds, giving the enemy the impression that you are taking Baron. They will quickly leave what they're doing to attempt to stop you. Once they come to the pit, surprise them with full health and the element of surprise. After you have aced the enemy team is also another good time to take Baron or Dragon. But make sure you aren't low enough that you will die to Baron, as you will not get the Baron bonus even if your team takes Baron. My final tip on how to get better at League of Legends is just to relax and play the game. Use your instincts. This doesn't mean don't think at all, but just relax a little bit and play. Especially when your promotional games don't crack. It's just another game. Sometimes it may take you 3 or more sets of promos to get promoted to the next league. Don't sweat it if you lose your first promotional game. You still have 2 or more games that you can win. If you get nervous, you're less likely to play at your regular standard. If you die, take a breath and play a little bit safer. Don't try to jump the guy you next see him. Just wait for a gank before you try anything. Hey guys, thanks for watching my guide on 5 ways how to get better at League of Legends. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. If you have any more tips, make sure to leave them in the comments below.